Hi there, this is Izumi Finance. We are the first protocol to support programmable liquidity mining and extend concentrated liquidity service for multi-chains. In the previous video, we introduced Izumi Finance Liquid Box. The one-side function has garnered lots of attention because it provides users very extremely high APR. There are also many users in the Telegram and Discord group asking me why one side can prove such a high APR and can such a high APR continue, how it works, and is it safe? In this video, I will introduce the one side more details for you. So I will do it. One side is new innovation of Izumi Finance. In this way, we can provide users with very high APR reward and reduce the impermanent loss of users. In order to understanding one side more details, we can learn faster through the introduction documentation of Izumi Finance. First of all, we all know that in Uniswap V2, if users want to provide liquidity, the money needs to evenly distribute on the function curve, which means if you are a liquidity provider, your money needs to cover the all function curve. So we know the capital utilization is very low, and the users need to bear the impermanent loss. Because the money are on the entire curve. Once the price of any asset in the trading pair fluctuates, the user will suffer an impermanent loss, and this impermanent loss is unavailable in the traditional XY equal K model. Low capital utilization efficiency and the impermanent loss have become the key factor restricting the development of Uniswap V2, and many liquidity providers have lost the money here, not earning enough transaction fee. The one-side model uses Uniswap V3 to solve these problems. Before explaining the solution, let's take a more in-depth understanding of Uniswap V3. First, Uniswap V3 put forward the new concept of concentrated liquidity. Users can choose different price range on function curve to provide liquidity. This ensures that the efficiency of capital utilization can be increasing exponentially. Secondly, on Uniswap V3, users do not need to distribute money evenly, which means that previously on Uniswap V2, money needed to be distributed according to the ratio of 55% to 55%. For example, if you have $100 to provide USDT ETH trading pair liquidity, on Uniswap V2, you need to exchange your current price of $50 for USDT and $50 for ETH, and then provide liquidity. This is an undoubtable very low capital utilization, and once the price of ETH fluctuates, users also need to bear impermanent loss. And the impermanent loss is more common in the trading pair where both token are non-fungible token, and the same impermanent loss is higher. However, on Uniswap V3, users can provide unilaterally liquidity, which means that users can choose to provide unilaterally liquidity instead of the distribute $100 according to the 50% ratio. For example, all $100 can exchange to USDT to provide liquidity on Uniswap V3. When we know how Uniswap V3 provides liquidity unilaterally, the explanation of the one-side part will be easier to understand. Here is an example to explain one side. There is a trading pair XYZ USDC trading pair here. In Uniswap V2, XYZ token and USDC should be invested in the liquidity pool proportionally. However, in one side, Izumi Finance will not put all the assets into the liquidity pool, but will deposit half of the assets in the Uniswap V3. In this case, is USDC. In the actual situation, it will also show the stablecoin or midstream asset earn transaction fee to put liquidity on Uniswap V3, because the price volatility of the stablecoin and the midstream asset will be smaller, impermanent loss will be also smaller. For another part of XYZ token, we will put it into the staking pool and provide additional liquidity reward for staking pool, which means that mainstream assets such as the USDC, USDT are deposited into the Uniswap V3 to earn transaction fee, and the non-mainstream assets like the governance token, project parties token enter the staking pool to receive the additionally liquidity reward. The liquidity reward of this part are very, very high. So this is one side, the specifically perform of the high APR. And then when the price fluctuated, in Uniswap V2, the price rising, more XYZ token need to be converted into USDC. So impermanent loss will occur at this time because the number of XYZ token of users decrease. However, in the one-side model, when the price rising, all XYZ tokens are locked in the staking pool. There will be no buy order like Uniswap V2, and the number will not decrease. So there is no impermanent loss, but just have an additional liquidity reward. When the price of XYZ token drops, users need to bear the same impermanent loss because at this time USDC replaced by the XYZ token. So we can summarize one-side model. One side uses a concentrated liquidity of Uniswap V3 and the staking pool to put the stablecoin and the mainstream asset in the specifically trading pair into Uniswap V3 to provide the liquidity and earn transaction fee. Put the governance token into the staking pool for stake and provide additional liquidity subsidy reward for the asset in the staking pool. When the price of governance token rise, the one-side model can cover impermanent loss and obtain very high APR. Therefore, at this time, all governance tokens are locked, so there will be no part of them due to price rise. A situation where the governance token is exchanged any other token in the trading pair. Simply said, use one-side model, the governance token rise without impermanent loss. However, when the price drops, users still need to bear impermanent loss, but they can choose use the other function of izumi finance to hedge, which we'll introduce in the next video. Using the one-side model, users can get two benefits. The first is a transaction fee from Uniswap V3 because we put the stablecoin and the mainstream asset into Uniswap V3 for market making. The second part is staking reward given by izumi finance and project parties. This part issues a high APR of the one-side model. Like all liquidity mining reward, when the number of people mining increasing, the APR will also decrease. This is a very easier things, such as just have two people share the one cake, everyone can get half a cake, but if the 10 people to share the one cake, the situation is different. At this stage, users can still receive the two incomes on one side, transaction fee and the staking reward. For staking reward, users can use the easy token to boost the income up to the 2.5 times. The function here is the same things as the fixed range, and the more details will be introduced in the next video. The smart contracts and code of the one side has been audited by the auditing company, but please attention that no DeFi protocol can be guaranteed to be completely secure, so users need to judge the risks by themselves. Finally, for users, using one side can reduce impermanent loss and obtain very high APR reward, including Uniswap V3 transaction fee and izumi finance staking reward. The staking reward usually consists of the two parts, the governance token of project party and the izumi easy token. It is a good way for users to use the one fund to make the three incomes. If you are a DeFi miner and want to increase your income and your APR, please follow the one side and do more research for yourselves. So thank you for watching. We are Izumi Finance. See you in next video.